You see these people going out and they're getting their pictures professionally done, and they're by a lake and they're out in nature, they're by the water. It looks so beautiful. It was a cold day that day and I had my scarf on, wrapped it up, and just took a picture of myself. So that's what I did. Oh gosh. It's snowing. It's horrible out here. The roads are horrendous. I mean, horrendous. I mean, when I say horrendous, um, it the this one hill I had to get up was solid ice, just solid ice. And I had to go at it very slowly. I was going this way and I was going that way, and the guy behind me was kind of doing the same thing. um One guy was getting angry, and it's like, okay, you know what, I got a four-wheel drive, I'm going up this hill, and it's yeah, and I got an old SUV that's like 2002, so my SUV is like 24 years old. Yeah, 24 years old. So she's 24 years old, she made it up the hill. Um, but I wouldn't go out of town today. If anybody lives here in Calgary, I definitely wouldn't go out of town today. It is not the day to be on the highway because the weather's so horrendous. So the astrology, I'm just gonna say, is crazy. The energies are very heavy, intact. A lot of anger in the world. We have Mars is coming into Aries. I mean, I'm going to say like the new moon that's coming up is like outrageous. That's what I'm going to say. It's just totally outrageous. I've never seen, like, I have a lot of aspects in my sign, like for a Scorpio. Let's see. If I pull in all the different ones that I look at for just my sign, because we're going to talk about me, because it's all about me. Remember that. It's all about me. Me. Uh, so if I do, okay, because you guys are in my way. So my North Node, descendant, da, da. So it's, hold on. Go, if you go on that side. All the way down to Eris. We'll bring that all in. I'm just with my chart alone. So in my chart, if I look with my chart, I have how many aspects in Scorpio? And this is with adding not just the regulars, but I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 11 aspects in my Scorpio alone. Like that's not, which is crazy, because that's just an unusual thing. Not everybody has that many aspects. That's from the sun, Mercury, Neptune, uh, Venus. I have my part of fortune is in there. My vertex, the Lilith is in there. Both Liliths. I got Lilith in there. I have Sirius in there, and I have Juno in there. So, oh, and I have Vesta in there. So all of those are in my chart, like in my. Now, if we go for on the day of that new moon, we will have 10 aspects in Aries, right? And you want intensity, like intense. That's why I say, I said people like by the 15th, things are going to be really crazy, right? Things are going to get very crazy by the 15th, and the 17th is the new moon. And how things are just going to get ramped up. I don't know if anybody looked at gas today. Gas went up here in Calgary. I don't know about the rest of the world, but probably it went up too. Go Louise, right? Go Louise. Louise is my chart. Louise is my baby. She made it up the hill. Yes. So we're heading into some like I hate like mucky weather. I posted for people that about my live today. You don't need your card. So I don't, you don't need a special card to be on my lives or to come and talk to me. So it's fine. You know, I can tell with my eyes if you're male or female, or if you're black and or white, or if or what ethnic background you are. I really don't need a card, and I don't care where your I'm gonna where your dingle dangle or your clam goes. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. That's yours. That's not mine. That's none of my business, baby. And how you feel about it. So let's just leave it at that. But I mean, it's a world gone mad. It is crazy out there. I noticed one of the they're called the Epstein class. That's what they're calling people now if you're not on their side. So now if you're not on the side of the lefts, you are the Epstein class. I'm just like, "Oh my fucking god." It's just all of this energy, all of this corruption and crudeness and demonic energy is rising up very heavily. I know there's been a meeting that was called in Rome. Don't ask me how I get this fucking information, but anyways, that a lot of the archbishops are hearing from their bishops that are hearing from their priests that they've been having a lot of activity within their parishes, within their diocese, that they are wanting to get a more exorcisms, more priests that are specialized in this, to come into the diocese and that, because they did try and make it that there was at least one in every single diocese, but unfortunately they haven't had enough priests right now. So they're ramping that up. Now that's not something that somebody wants to go into lightly, and someone who wants to take something like that up, right? You just don't go and volunteer and say, "Hey, yeah, I just want to go chase out demons." It's something that you really it's not a fun job, and it's a job that can be very can take a toll on your body and in many different ways. So the use of Conrad at the meeting is truly it is. I agree. I agree, Cynthia. When somebody's coming up to me and say, "Oh yeah, Conrad," and part of the protests on the for the king is they had the communist symbol, the sickle, right? And I'm just like, you guys have no idea about communism. Like they have no idea, because communism means starvation. When communism came into, especially into Russia, into China, huge starvation. They starved their people. There were people in Siberia that were actually, when somebody died because it was so cold, they threw them in the backyard and they ate them. How gruesome and horrific that is. But people were starving. There was no food. All grain and everything went because Stalin wanted to look good to the rest of the world. So he sent out all of his, and he brainwashed his people to believe that this is what you have to do because this is the right thing, because you don't want to be like one of those elitists, as he's sitting in his elitist status. And he had many different affairs, and also an affair with a 13-year-old girl. This is where it's like they're taking their morality, they're taking their advice from people who have no morals or have no values, right? Their only value is of themselves, of themselves, not in a positive, energetic way of improving themselves in a beautiful way, but in a way that is saying that you could go beyond who you are to do whatever you want to do. You can exercise your rights to a point that it can diminish somebody else, that it can punish somebody else in many different ways. That's not that's not spirit, that's not God, that's not the divine. That's when you know the divine is no longer there. That's why those meetings are going on within the church. And I believe probably not only within church, but there's probably other religious sects that are looking at it as well. This is very much a time of grounding, a time of knowing your values, knowing what it is, because even though you hear the rhetoric and it's very easy, oh, everything's ending, everything's going. No, it's not. I hate to tell people, like, a lot of people probably will start to hate me again by saying this, because I'm wanting people to understand that we are going into, and I'm going to say by the end of April, if it's going to hit here in Canada, an an environmental lockdown, however they want to call it. But it's not going to be like the last one where they're going to have money for you. Here you go. Here you go. That was just a training field to see how many people they can pull in, right? And then half the people that they gave the money to, they went after them to get the money back, right? Even though you might have qualified, but some people had end up having to pay 14, 20,000, whatever it is, back, because either they tried to get EI, just so many different scenarios and stories, right, that are out there. So we're going to find that things are going to start really getting really crazy. So what does that mean? That means that you're going to find that, sure, if you want to travel, there's still going to be travel. You're still going to be able to go on a plane. You're still going to be able to drive, but you're going to find limitations on everything that you can do. Same with, groceries. Yes, you're going to be able to go into the grocery store and buy food. Food is still going to be there, right? The shelves are not going to be empty, but they're going to be limited with what it is that you are wanting to create or what you wanted to buy. So if you are wanting to get, well, let's go with the Kit Kat heist, right? So how much 2 tons of Kit Kats were robbed in Germany and sent to Poland, and now they got the number on the back. And I'm just saying, if you're buying this on the black market, do you give a damn hoots on what the code is on the back to say that this is contraband now? No, Kit Kat's contraband. So, but these are the types of craziness. It sounds crazy. It sounds, how could they be doing this? And it's because things are getting very intense and people are looking at different ways on how they can create their abundance and how they're able to do that. So the crunch is coming down. We're going to be feeling a lot of what's going on. People have asked, will Canada have the draft? The way things are going, it looks that way, right? What do you think about the rocket? Take me to the moon. Oh my god. I thought that was hilarious. April 1st and let's go to the moon. But we're not going to land on the moon. We're just going to orbit the moon. Really? 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 There's something up with that. That was one of the biggest diversions from everything, because that went on at the same time that the president came out with his little speech about, oh, we're okay, we're getting together, we're almost done, to the UK coming out, and France. So all of these guys came out, I think in Australia, was Australia too? So all of these almost simultaneously coming out with an announcement and announcing how, UK is saying that, well, we got one shipment of oil coming in. Trump is saying, hey, we got oil, buy from us. And I'm just thinking, okay, but how are they going to get it by the time they get it over there? Like, there's, I just, no. With nobody's paying attention to everything that's going to be happening with Taiwan and China. Plus, Japan just launched its first long range missile in ages. So we got Japan launching some missiles there. I think North Korea is feeling very butthurt because no one's asking for his help because he's very lonely. So there's all of these little things that are going on that are that are getting people to be fearful. But look at this. Look at this. We're sending someone to the moon, but not exactly to the moon, but just around it so we can see what's on the other side. I don't think they're going to be able to. Um, it's supposedly that moon that there supposedly there, millions of years ago there was not a moon, and then there were two moons, and then that one moon, I guess, left. I don't know the whole thing about it. And then that moon it's not really a moon, it's some operative, and that there are people living inside the moon. Yes, look over there. Yeah, it's I don't know, right? They already said, the Chinese are already on the moon. Oh, India landed on the moon too. Did you see that? That was a couple of years ago. But people are getting to a point where they're seeing that, okay, this is bullshit. My hair's crazy because when I was outside shoveling this morning to get Mateus. Um, the craziness that they're trying to get people to believe, to follow suit. And it is one that is, I feel, uh it's everything's just going to ramp up. It's just going to get crazier, right? It's just going to get crazier. And when we look into, different conspiracy theories and stuff, it's like, put on that tin. I think I'm going to start wearing a tinfoil hat before I come on here and say, hey, it's only me with my tinfoil hat coming on, just coming to share with you some of the cray cray of the world and the astrology, because I got my tinfoil hat on. So you don't have to listen to me. It's not real. you know. Uh what's the dolphin's name? It's not real. Yeah, he's not real. It's like I was just listening to um what is it? Oh, Jesus. No, I just popped up. Unacceptable fringe just came in. Lockdowns are inevitable. That's funny. Um, that if you've ever noticed that your gas in your vehicle doesn't go as far, you fill up your gas and you're like, okay, this usually lasts me 3 days or whatever, a week. Now it only lasts me 6 days instead of 7 days. So they're saying that because of everything, they're adding more ethanol into so sort of like thinning out your gas so it doesn't last as long. I don't know. Could be true. I mean, it's just a thought, you know. But this it's yeah, it is. It's a wee bit crazy. It's a wee bit crazy. Cynthia, I think you and I need another wine night. 15% now or something. Yeah. So that's just like using this white powder that people blow up their nose and adding the powder that people wipe their butt put their butt on, baby powder. So adding some talc into that to make it go a little bit further. You may not get the same buzz, obviously. So you want more, you buy more. So that's the same way with the gasoline. They want more. So it is one of those crazy things that are going on right now, right? And it's all of this entanglement, all of this is unfolding, and it's unfolding very quickly. And that traffic jam that's going to be happening in Aries that is coming up is really going to bring in a lot more of the craziness. Yeah, because he's at 24 degrees. Da, 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 da. Yeah. So within the next week or so, Mars is going to be home. Yeah. That's just craziness. I was watching, so much and what's really bad is when that convention of the NDP has gone worldwide. It's been on in Australia. It has been made news in UK, in the United States. It's all over the place. And that really people are just probably like, what the hell is going on with Canada? That taking that as a representation. Oh, these are Canadians. No, that is not Canadians. I'm sorry. That Dumbo floppy-eared person that was there is not a representation of Canada, right? And it's the humility of it all, definitely. The idea that people think, what? Oh, Canadians have to go around carrying cards now to for their identification. I have to identify myself. I am a person of color. I'm pink. I'm not white. I'm pink. I'm not I'm not white. I'm of a pink flesh tone. So I'm a person of color. And I am a woman, and I'm a woman, and I am a woman that is biologically a woman, but I don't take whatever but I can identify myself as Korean or whatever it is. I mean, it that to me, that is a cesspool of evil, right? When people get so inundated on who they are, that's such a low vibration, right? That whole convention was not, there was nothing rising up from there. There was nothing that was positive that was coming in there. That was definitely a cesspool of negativity and corruption. It was just crazy. But my takeaway for you all today, this is what I want you guys to take away today, is that I want you to take a look at my mini series. I have my mini series that's out. It's on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. Those who said yes, they got it first and they got it sent out to them last night. Today's day 2 about the morning routine. Take a look at it. It's 4 minutes long. And if you do watch it on YouTube and that, please share it out. Please like, subscribe, and all of that kind of fun stuff with it as well. But take that time for bringing yourself into a rhythm. This is going to be very vital as we are going through the next couple months. We'll give you a couple months that we need to have into these rhythms. We need to have into these routines, and bringing those rhythms and routines into our daily life is going to be so important, as we are going to be able to sit and watch all of the craziness that is unfolding for us. So, take a look at that. And if you are wanting to join up and subscribe to my moon readings, it's there. The link's all in my bios. All right. I'm going to send you guys out with so much love. Got to get going here. And love and light to you. See ya.